Hi everybody, Aaron with Atlas Menswear here, and I just wanted to do a video about my experience at the Arnold Sports Festival of 2022. I had a vendor booth at the expo, and I was not just a vendor, but I was a sponsor too. I did a sponsorship package, so I had my logo different places and got to present some awards on the bodybuilding stage, and it was a lot of fun. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody that stopped out at the booth to talk, to check out the shirts. If you bought a shirt, thank you. I love being able to get out and talk to our customers, hearing the feedback on the shirts, which is almost all positive. A couple pointers here and there that people would like to see, which I love hearing that too. So thank you for stopping out. I really do appreciate it, and appreciate being able to see everybody and watch you try on the shirts. And that's another thing too that will never get old to me. When somebody stops by that's got the physique that we go for, the bigger shoulders and the V-taper to the waist, when they first try on an Atlas shirt, you can tell that they've never experienced anything like that before. When they get their arms in and they see how it fits their physique, and their eyes light up, it's just a great experience for me. And that, like I said, that will never get old. So I wanted to do a video, kind of a wrap up video, but I wanted to do a video of the Arnold Sports Festival, more from a vendor side. There's a lot of videos out there on YouTube from the athlete side, the attendee perspective, but I wanted to do one more from the vendor perspective, because that's something that most people don't see. There's not really anything out there. I actually looked for things like that when I was getting ready for the Arnold, because I just wanted to learn to see what other people experienced, some of the successes, some of the failures, what works, what doesn't, and I really couldn't find anything. So that's what I want to kind of convey. If you are a vendor that has been to the Arnold before, or any sports and fitness expo, I think that some of my experiences that I can share will help you, and hopefully we can help each other grow. So I went to the Arnold 2022. The Arnold was from March 4th, 5th, and 6th, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That was the expo. It was, like I said, it was a lot of fun. One of the things they had there that I think was new, I don't think they've ever had it before, was the slap fighting contest. And if you were there, you probably saw, it was a big hit with everybody. I don't really understand that sport. I was in martial arts when I was younger. I was a competitor in my teens and 20s. Did some jujitsu and wrestled, and I was really into combat sports. And with those things, there's strategy. There's a defense and an offense. You can dodge and block, and you don't want to get hit. But with the slap fighting contest, you just stand there and take turns smacking each other in the face until somebody gets knocked out. I don't really understand why you'd want to do that. These guys probably just are nuts, and but it is fun to watch. The two people got knocked out on stage, which I guess is the whole point. So it's interesting to watch for sure. Is it Jake or Logan Paul? Jake, I get the two mixed up. One of the Pauls was there. Which one was it? Anyway, my daughters were excited to see him. My daughters were there. My wife was there. My daughters got to do a high five with Jake or Logan Paul. I honestly forget which one it was. So they were excited about that. So I wanted to go over my experience with having a booth at the expo. I had a 10 by 20 booth along with the sponsorship, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. A lot of things that worked out well, a lot of things I'm happy with, but some things that caused some adversity and things that I didn't plan on happening, but they did happen. So I wanted to share some of those experiences too. The first thing that happened that caused a lot of stress for me was, let me backtrack a little bit. I went to the Mr. Olympia Expo back in October of 2021. Had a lot of success there, sold a lot of shirts. So I knew that I needed to restock and have a good inventory on hand for the Arnold. So after the Mr. Olympia, started talking to my manufacturer, talked with my head of product, Jessica Dixon, who's a fashion designer. She's in the fashion world, and she helps me a lot. We had a good timeline built out. We had plenty of time to order. Long story short, the manufacturer didn't ship the goods on time. So it is March 1st, 10:15 in the morning, Tuesday, 3 days before the Arnold Expo is supposed to start, 2 days before the Expo setup. My inventory that I ordered to be able to sell at the Arnold is currently As far as I can tell, I can't 100% confirm anything. As far as I can tell, it's currently in the air. These shirts were supposed to be here days ago, really weeks ago. You wouldn't believe how unbelievably stressed I am because I don't have much to sell. I have some shirts, I have some stock, but not for the volume that I need to sell at the Arnold just to break even on the money I'm spending to get there. So yeah, that's what I'm going through right now. This is not the way I was expecting to spend the days leading up to the Arnold. It's an exciting time. Talked to Bob Ciccarello on the phone yesterday. Talked about meeting up on Thursday, getting him a shirt. God. So yeah, that's just an update. Hopefully they get here. We followed up as much as we could with the manufacturer. Bottom line, they didn't get there. So there was a lot of time you're trying to track down these shirts to see if I could go pick them up. If they were in California, somewhere in the continental United States, I was willing to fly out to California, rent a truck, and drive straight through back to Columbus just to have them there at the expo. It wouldn't be ideal. I would have been exhausted. I would have hated it, but that's business. That's what you have to do in a pinch. But that wasn't even an option. We couldn't confirm where those shirts were at, and I couldn't go. There's nothing I could do. So one thing I did was, when I would talk to people that came to the booth, they would try shirts on and want one. If I didn't have what they needed in stock at the time, I told them, we're doing a discount at the booth especially for the Arnold. I said, if you buy one here, you can take advantage of the discount, and then I'll ship it to you as soon as I get them, which I told them would be in a couple days. Ended up being Tuesday that the shirts came in, the Tuesday after the Arnold. So immediately I fulfilled those orders and shipped them out. So that worked out pretty well. Of course, there were some people that were disappointed and wanted to wear a shirt that night at the bodybuilding show or to go out to dinner or some of the events that were happening around the Arnold, which I completely understand. So something else that happened that added to some adversity. A few weeks before the Arnold, about 2 weeks before the Arnold, I had hurt my neck at the gym. I don't know exactly what I did, but it's given me a lot of trouble. It's on the like C5, C6 area, somewhere around there. But in my right arm, I'm experiencing constant like pins and needles and definite muscle weakness. On Thursday during the setup, I had a lot of stuff in my vehicle for the booth. It was all up to me. I was the only one there to unload everything. I had a dolly, but I had pulled my 55-inch television off my living room wall. Had that down there to do a slideshow on some model shots with the shirts. Stand that I built for the TV, tables, boxes, everything I was carrying, which normally you wouldn't be a big deal, but with the pain in my neck and the weakness in my arm, it just exacerbated everything, and that just constant dealing with that pain just kind of raises the stress levels a little bit more. But in that situation, you just have to put a smile on your face and just deal with it. Bury it and deal with it later or when you get home, because you're there for your business, and I had to represent the business well. I can't say I'd love to sell you a shirt, but my arm hurts right now. No, absolutely not. That's not an option. So in a situation like that, you just have to sometimes just grit your teeth, put on a smile, and not let on that anything's hurting at all. Something else that happened that added to even more stress levels on Wednesday morning, the day that I was planning on going down to the Arnold, I came down to my basement to get a couple things that I had to load up, and there was water all over my basement floor. It is Wednesday morning, week of the Arnold Sports Festival. Am I excited? No, not at all. My inventory still is not here, and I woke up to this morning. I'm supposed to be heading down to Columbus. I got a leak in my plumbing I got to fix now, so I'm under a lot of stress. Blew up a little bit, so I got to get to work and fix this before I can even start heading down to Columbus. So hoping my inventory gets here, hoping I get some good news on that. I'll get this fixed here and start turning some of this shit around. I haven't had to deal with any kind of plumbing leak in my house for years. I don't even remember the last time anything has leaked in my house. But it picked that day, the day that I was getting ready to leave, and I was going to leave within an hour of that point. Luckily, I knew how to fix it myself. Not a huge deal to fix, but it was a huge deal for me at that point. It was just another thing that was on my mind that like, why? Why is this happening right now? Why did it pick now? It could have picked a week ago or a week later, but it picks the absolute worst time to happen. One more thing, and again, I don't like dwelling on negative things, but I'm just I'm sharing my story more. I'm not complaining. I'm not dumping on anybody, but I think it's important for any other businesses that are going to do something like this. You realize there's adversity. Sometimes you're just going to have a bad time, and you have to make the best of it. So on Friday, my wife had come down. She had to work on Thursday, so she wasn't able to help with the setup. She came down with our girls on Thursday evening and was there to help me in the booth starting on Friday. About halfway through the day on Friday at the expo, she got a call from her mother saying that her grandfather wasn't doing well. They didn't expect him to make it very much longer. She told me about it, and I said, you got to go. You got to be there for your family and for him. And they live. Her grandfather lives out in Kansas, so that's a long drive from Columbus. So my wife's mother came down from the Canton area, drove 2 hours to Columbus to pick my wife up, and then they headed out for Kansas. On their way out there, unfortunately, they didn't make it in time. He had passed away while they were driving out, so they didn't get to see him before he passed away. So it was a really sad time. And my family always comes first before anything. But the show must go on. That old theater saying it applies here too. The show just had to go on. So I comforted my girls as much as I could, and then I had to do what I had to do. So that's really the only things that I want to dwell on as far as adversity. I don't want to make it seem like I'm dwelling on the negative, because overall it was still a great experience. But it's those are just some of the things that happen sometimes. But I try to kick that out of my mind right away and just grit my teeth and go. So that's what I had to do. So before I go on much further to go over some of the positive things that happened, I want to kind of address the little elephant in the room, the shirt that I'm wearing. This was something I was hoping to roll out at the Arnold. This was part of the new inventory order that I got. This is a new color for us. We've had a lot of requests for pink, so we did get a pink, and this is it. They are limited edition. I'm gonna say we don't have a lot of pink shirts. They're not on the website yet. Today is Monday the 14th. I hope to get them on the website this week. So watch for those. And again, the quantities are limited in the pink. So if you want one, you're going to need to get on and get them as soon as possible. I will send out an email to let everybody know that the pink is available. Just to kind of recap some of the positive things that happened. Again, it was a lot of fun. All the stress and all the adversity aside, overall, it was a fun event. So I got the booth set up on Thursday, had the shirts out on racks in the booth so people could try them on. Loved seeing people try on the shirts. I had some people saying, I went to the Arnold never thinking that I was going to buy a button-up shirt. They tried it on and realized that it's the shirt that they never knew that they needed. That was a quote from somebody too. So I love seeing that. I love getting out and talking with people. So being able to go to the Mr. Olympia in October and then the Arnold and this past week was absolutely great for me. It's very validating to me that people do like the shirts. They do like the fit. They've never, I hear over and over, they've never tried anything like this on before. There's nothing out there that fits a muscular guy with the big shoulders and the narrow waist. And that's exactly what we went through all the research and development to do. That's exactly what we were aiming for. We fit one body type. We do one thing, and we do it better than anybody else. I can confidently say that. And it's very rewarding and validating to hear the other people say that. 3 days of the expo, watched some of the events, sold a lot of shirts. The atmosphere at the Arnold, if you've never been to it, it's upbeat. We weren't too far from the Arnold stage, so we could see some of the stuff going on, the slap fighting, some of the lifting and stuff. Had 3 of my 4 daughters there, my 18-year-old, my 14-year-old, my 12-year-old. They had fun. They walked around the expo floor and really enjoyed it. So I was glad to see that too. Another thing I got to do that was really fun, being a sponsor, I got to present some awards at the bodybuilding show on the finals on Saturday night. I got to present the men's physique champion award, the trophy. Went to Aaron Banks. seeing him up close on stage under the lights and, in shredded stage shape, he looked incredible. No question of why he won. He just looked amazing. I know the video is starting to go a little bit longer than what I planned on, but I had a lot to share. I still have a lot more content. I'm going to just put that at the end of this video, and you can watch until the end and kind of skip around and see what you want. Before I go, I want to remind you to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And leave me a comment. Ask me any questions. Leave some comments on the content that I've given you. And if you're a company that's going to have an event at an expo similar to this, or really anything, leave me a comment and ask me a question. Ask me for some advice. I'm not a seasoned veteran at this yet, but I do have some experience being to a couple live expos, and I do have a little bit of knowledge to share, and I would be happy to do that. So ask me anything you want, and I will try to answer to the best of my ability. So without any further ado, I'm going to end the video, and I'm going to put some other pictures and some video of the Arnold up just so you can see what it looked like. And I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Oh, one other thing real quick. I am going to write a couple blog posts on atlasmenswear.com and our blog section there. A couple other things about the Arnold that I didn't put in this video. Like I said, I don't want it to go too long. So I'm going to write a couple more posts. So check that out. Check out the Instagram and the Facebook to keep up with everything. And I will see you next time. Thanks.